Finally, JB, the moment we've been waiting for. We've sent her hundreds of DMs, and finally, she's here. JB, announce our guest.
Welcome, Andrea Saurer. Thank you for
Saurer. Thank you so much for having me. I am so blessed to be here, and I want to thank you guys for all the hard work that you do to support us. I appreciate it so much.
Thank you very much.
We've seen you for a while on Instagram. We've seen you. I remember back in the day, I think it was with a lot with Hella Trevino and that crew in 2016, 17, wasn't it?
2020, she prepped me for my pro debut when I placed in the top 5.
Oh.
We saw you. Then we saw you at the, I think the last show was the Lenda Murray show.
The Norfolk Pro, yes.
And here we was full, bursting out, sold. That look was my favorite look. I seen on your Instagram, you said you weren't happy with the look. But
at Norfolk?
Yes, I thought it was fantastic.
That was probably my fullest look, but yes. I didn't take any diuretics, so I was still holding on to a little bit of water.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was a great look, though.
Thank you. I had prepped myself for the whole entire season of 2021, so I didn't have any coaches. And I just did my thing, which was a blessing, but I am so grateful to have the support of my coaches this year because we're bringing in such a better package. So I want to shout out to my prep coach, Paul Barnett, anabolicbodybuilding.com, my emotional coach, Kay McCready, my posing coach, Sheila Black. They have helped me so much so far this year.
Emotional coach, what is that?
Kay McCready specializes in female athletes, specifically female bodybuilders. So I worked with her for about 3 months last summer. I just started working with her again as my prep began to help me get in the right mindset and work on some emotional issues that are going to help me be more successful.
Oh,
one of the reasons we like you is because you are you are young, but you are old school bodybuilding, meaning you're not women's physique switching over. You're not or maybe you were, but you are women's bodybuilding like we like it. How did you fall in love with how did you start to compete and train hard in the gym? How did you fall in love with the iron in the beginning?
Okay. Oh man, I've been an athlete since age 4, but when it really started was when my dad started taking me to the gym at age 15. Okay. He was a bodybuilder. He never competed, but he lived and looks like a bodybuilder his whole life. And so I started lifting weights with him at 15, 16. I continued. And mind you, I'm still playing sports all through high school.
How was your genetics? How was your genetics back then for putting on weights?
Always athletic. I was always muscular and athletic. So in college, I played 2 NCAA sports. And after I graduated, I was missing that competitive edge that I had known my entire life. So there was this huge void. And at the gym that I was going to at the time, there was a gal who was super buff, and she was teaching like some of the fitness classes I would take. And she kind of took me under her wing because she competed in figure. She showed me a basic diet, and I still just kind of did my own thing. You know, I was young, straight out of college, and I competed in my first bodybuilding show as a novice, and I did really well. So I continued competing in bodybuilding.
Okay, wow. Okay, good.
Yeah, I started as a bodybuilder, but figure was so popular at the time that I did try out figure for a few years, and it went well at first, but I have an addiction to muscle, so I just wanted to get bigger and bigger. And when I placed last in my last figure show, I knew I was too big for figure. So that was when I went back into bodybuilding. But at the time, there was no bodybuilding on an amateur level. It was when physique was replacing it. Mm-hmm. So my only option was to do an NPC physique show, which I also did not do well in. And so I hired Chris Cormier to help me do an off season, and he prepped me for the 2016 USA, where I won my light heavyweight class, and that was when I got my pro card. But I took 4 years off before I
Why
ever
is that?
stepped foot on stage again. There were a lot of things I needed to accomplish first before making my pro debut. And I wanted to be big enough. I wanted to be financially ready. I wanted to be emotionally supportive to dedicating all of my time and energy into making my pro debut. And I did. And that was why I did so well the first time I stepped on an IFBB stage.
2020, did it give you extra, like, yes, when Miss Olympia came back the same year you did your pro debut?
Hell yeah. I mean, I was always watching the Rising Phoenix and just looking up to these women who were on that stage. And I loved the sport probably more when I wasn't competing in it. And so I knew I would eventually get back to it. I just had to properly prepare for that. And so when the Olympia did come back, I was stoked. I mean, it's a huge blessing for us and our sport and the fans.
You've taken, since your last show to now, how long has it been?
About a year and a half.
Talk to us. What's happened in this year and a half, physique-wise?
Well, I had surgery at the beginning of last year, which took almost a full year to recover from. So now, you know, that I was healthy enough, I did a full-blown off season with my coach, Paul. We did a full, I mean, when I'm in off season mode, I dedicate more energy than a contest prep diet. So off season is like my jam. So that's when I'm building muscle. I'm eating more food than you could possibly imagine, and I'm training harder than ever. So we put on 10 solid pounds of muscle while I stayed lean throughout these 4 months in preparation for this season, because I knew I wanted to go early into the season. I did not predict that the schedule would come out the way it did, but regardless, my goal was to do the New York Pro. I want to hit that show with a bang. And then it just so happened the Vancouver Pro was a month before, and it's on the West Coast, which there aren't any shows for us, unfortunately, on the West Coast. So for me, it's easier to travel and stay on the same time zone than constantly going to the East Coast to do these shows.
How many calories, when you say you're eating, like, how many calories did you need to eat on, because you're like, what, 5'3", 5'4"?
I'm 5'3".
And how much calories did you need to eat to put on size and staying lean? Obviously, you can't go too crazy then, but how many calories?
I don't count calories. I never do, but
calories at all?
Never.
Okay.
But carb-wise, I can tell you I was taking in over 600 grams of carbs on my high days.
Wow.
In the off season.
While staying lean.
Correct.
Wow. Vancouver, it's going to be a show with not so many athletes in it.
You think so? Or you know so?
We know so. Because we talk to we talk to everyone. We talk to the promoter. We talk to all the girls that compete.
Okay.
And, but the point is, you're going to get good looks there. That's for sure. Because we predict only 5-6 girls is going to do it.
Really?
Yes. But this means it's even better chance to get Olympia for qualification right there. And are we prepping for Vancouver to nail it there, or is it New York Pro? Because some athletes have different styles. Some people like warm-up shows. Some people. What's your strategy?
Sure. I like doing a warm-up show, but mentally I'm prepared to do the New York Pro regardless. Even if I win, I'm doing the New York. So deal with it.
That is good.
Is New York like some extra meaning to you, since you're very is it something special with the New York Pro for you?
It's a huge show, number one. Number two, my family has never come and watched me compete in bodybuilding ever.
Never.
But my mom and my aunt will be coming to the New York because it's close to them. I'm from Boston, Massachusetts, so it's not a bad drive, and they will actually be there. So to have family supporting me at the New York, it does mean a lot to me. And I want to do it because it is a very big show. I know the New York is going to be stacked, and I just want to show up my best.
Yeah,
That's great.
That's great. What's your aspirations for? Are you like? Do you have Miss Olympia aspirations? Like, are you like all in? Are you like? Because some girls we notice with women's bodybuilding that 1 year they're on and 1 year they disappear. And some are like in it all the way. What's your type of? How do you view yourself, women's body? Is this like, do you want to go all the way?
In my mind, all the way is making it to that Olympia stage. That's my mentality. If I could make it to that stage, I will be very happy and proud to be there. It's not easy to make it there, especially now. So for me, the Olympia is the end all be all. Do I see myself as Miss Olympia? No, but if I could be on that stage in the top 10, I would be extremely pleased.
We have at last Olympia, JB, we had how many girls were there in women's bodybuilding, JB? 20?
No, 20. 16 something.
I think it was 21.
21?
21 or 22.
Yeah, because at least 5 girls, JB, didn't place. So it has that was 16 and up. This show, Andrea, we have 8 pro qualifiers. 3 is already qualified from the last year. So we're looking at potential only 11 girls at this year's Miss Olympia, and some of them might win 2 shows, and then we're looking at 8 girls. Is this what as an athlete? What's your thoughts on this type of for women's bodybuilding this year?
My attitude has always been gratitude. So I'm never going into a show with the end all be all of Olympia. For me, I love the process so much, and for those 4 years where I couldn't compete, it broke my heart. So just the fact that I am able, physically, healthily, mentally able to compete again means the world to me. So the Olympia has never been my end result. I will continue to be a bodybuilder even if I don't compete. I still live this lifestyle. I still diet, 24/7, 365. I love being a bodybuilder, and competing is just a way to show my art. And I'm a fan of the process. So I really like to show how much I've improved over the year or years. And, to me, that's my joy. That brings me happiness.
JB.
Great.
JB, give us a question so I don't ask everything.
That's your job. Andrea, thank you again. You said you are a personal trainer right now?
Yeah, I'm in the gym right now training a client. He was gracious enough to let me take this interview.
Oh, sorry.
Is this your full-time job?
No, I only train clients part-time now. I am a full-time model. I also train and walk dogs for a living. So I do all the things that I enjoy. I learned that a long time ago. Do what you love, the money will come. Stay in your lane, follow your passion, and you can make it work. I've made my dreams work by becoming a professional athlete and competing on a stage with some of the best female bodybuilders in the world. And so if I can do that, it's a positive thing.
Wow, that's great. How does your regular day look like? Is this every day is the same, 7 days a week, or is it just it's in between? Or
very, very different because I manage 3 different businesses. I wake up every day around 5:30. I eat my first meal. I am off to pick up a dog. I'm off to go walk 2 more dogs. I come back. I try to take a nap and rest before I'm up doing all of my computer work. Then it's usually on another dog walk after that. Then I'm dropping the dog off, going to the gym, doing my training, cardio, post-workout meal, shower. I'm focused on maintenance this year. So every night I make time to work on my body. So I'm doing some kind of self-myofascial release or something that's going to prevent or maintain my injuries. And then, it's off to bed, a little self-care and off to bed and start the same thing, usually over the next day. So my Monday through Fridays looks pretty much like that. My weekends are a little different because I'm here training clients.
Okay.
But I love what I do.
Yeah, that's great. That's what I call determination. This is cool. That's very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's full-time model. What's that? What type of model is that? Or like, what is that?
I'm in the muscle fetish category. So I specialize in feats of strength like bending rebar behind my neck. I break boards, wooden 2x4s. I break boards behind my neck. I'm known for my She-Hulk videos where I tear through shirts like She-Hulk. I do arm wrestling videos, things like that, where I sell on 3 different stores online. And, I have an OnlyFans as well. If you want to support me there, it always helps my season.
Because I'm a little bit new to that. Where do you do your bending bars and things like that? Is there a web page you go to see it, or you go to where can you see that?
Yeah, so if you go to my website, RippedVixen.com, you'll see all the different platforms I have where you can download my videos, but most of the clips are on Clips for Sale. So you can go to clipsforsale.com/56475, and you'll see my store. I have over 180 clips there that are like $4 or $5, depending on the length of the video, and you can download my feats of strength and muscle worship content there.
Is it better with that business now or before? Like, is it what can I say? How is that after COVID? Is there a different? Is it going well? Is it harder? What is it?
Well, COVID was a blessing to me because I was able to leave my full-time job, which enabled me to jump back into competing again. Because when I had my full-time job, it was very stressful and abusive and unhealthy. As a female bodybuilder, just living my lifestyle, I would get harassed and misgendered almost on a daily basis. So when I left that toxic environment, because I was training clients part-time on top of my full-time job, so there was no way I could dedicate enough time to compete. When I left my stressful full-time job, that was when I got into modeling again, and I collaborated with my exclusive photographer who it was really his idea to do all the bar bending and the feats of strength stuff that people love and the fans buy. So once 2020 hit and I got back into modeling and competing and really bulking and dieting down, because fans love both looks, right? Yes. Some love the off season, like big jack buff look. And then there are some fans that love the pre-contest conditioning look. So I have a little bit of both because I shoot all year round. So I will shoot in the peak of my off season and I will also shoot pre-contest. So when you look at my store, I'll have all different shapes and sizes of videos up there. And that really helped me get a variety of content for what the fans all over the world appreciate. So I try to please everyone, which is difficult, but there is a little something for everyone up there. And having that time to create content that I love, it's actually improved my business so much since 2020. And I'm just able to, make a decent living just by selling my clips online because, I can make money while I'm sleeping. My favorite look, JB, is the off season. I like it. The bigger, the better. JB, what about you?
You know it.
What about you? What's your favorite, Andre? What's your best off-season or in contest look? For you personally, what look do you like the most? I like where I'm at right now, which is in between the two, where you're not so fat, but you're not too conditioned yet, where your muscles are still full, but you have the definition there. You can see the separations because you're lean, but you still have enough glycogen in your muscles to stay full and round. That's my favorite, is like right in between off season and pre-contest. with all this busy schedule, do you have time for yourself, for friends, for personal relationships, for family, for spirituality, or whatever? Do you have time for this?
Yeah, that's what I'm really working on with Kay McCready, my emotional coach. She is helping me make more time for me because I tend to be a people pleaser and will put others' needs before mine. So now that I'm working with her, you know, there's some accountability there for me managing my own feelings and not filling up my life with so much busyness that you have no emotions, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of us, we just fill our schedules and we're so busy and stressed all the time so that we don't feel anything, but that's not really healthy. So I'm learning this process on how to take better care of myself physically and mentally, which is a process. You know, it's not going to happen overnight, but I am actively working on it.
JB, my last question, JB, then you go for your last question, JB. So think something. My question is, I'm very into routines. It's my favorite thing to watch. Because sometimes the judging at women's bodybuilding is very funky. So the routines I enjoy highly.
Of course.
So can you give us any clue what you will post to at Vancouver? And will we see most muscular shots? Because that's very important for fans of women's bodybuilding.
I know, and most muscular shots are my favorites.
Good.
I am working with Sheila Black, and she choreographed a lot more feminine, but she is forcing me out of my comfort zone to do certain poses that I would not normally do. So I like that about her. We've had one session so far, but she really helped me piece together the music, and she's, you know, she's so good at what she does. I mean, she has always been one of my favorite posers. So the fact that she can just read my body and she's already told me like, wow, you have a great ass. So your glute shots, we want to just make those pop. And she knows that my back is very strong and powerful too. So I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of back and rear poses in my routine. But we'll see. We just started piecing it together.
What song is it?
I'm not telling you that.
JB.
You'll see it in New York, though, because I'll be doing the same routine in New York. So those of you that are getting the live stream, you'll see it.
Good. Live stream. Good. JB.
Andrea, do you have any kind words to your fans and our fans for the end now?
Oh, man. I just want to thank all of you guys so much for allowing me to be RippedVixen, because without that, I wouldn't be able to make money doing what I love and follow my passion of bodybuilding. And, you know, the fact that fans all over the world know who I am means a lot to me. So thank you so much. And I really appreciate what you guys are doing here at Female Bodybuilding Channel. Keep up the great work.
Thanks.
By the way, female bodybuilding, is it... physique girls are switching over. Can you see women's bodybuilding is becoming a little bit more trendy now? Can't you?
I'm glad, though. I'm glad that it's become a lot more popular, and you know the lines are being skewed a little bit. I wish there was a better definition to separate the two divisions.
Yes.
I've heard this before. You know, I think there should be like maybe height and weight requirements like there are for the men's classic physique. I think they should maybe apply that to women's physique, because then maybe there would be more criteria as to where they belong. But, you know, if our division keeps getting more popular, then hopefully we'll get more shows, and that would be ideal for not only the competitors, but also the fans too.
Yeah.
The other thing I just want to add is that, you know, and this is more of a question, but it's like they say we're not bringing in the money. It's like, how do you know when you buy the stream, is there a box where you check like which category do you want to see the most, or why are you buying this live stream? Is it for men's bodybuilding, women's bodybuilding, women's, you know, there should be some kind of poll when you do purchase a show that states, I'm buying this to watch women's bodybuilding, so that maybe we can start getting some real data on who the fans are coming to watch. And then hopefully that will create more shows and the promoters will add us to their shows. And then everybody will be making more money. That would be nice.
That's great words, yeah.
Yeah, because at shows is not the same. I know Classic is getting all the hype, but it's on Instagram. And kids, young kids are on Instagram. But at shows, they're going to see the men open in the women's bodybuilding, yeah? Fans are going to see those events, and they pay the tickets, you know?
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. And that's why we need to have some real data recorded on who is buying these shows to see what division, because then it will show there are a lot more fans that are coming to see women's bodybuilders, and then we will get more shows. So that would be ideal. If we can somehow incorporate a poll into these purchases on the live streams, we can get some real data and analyze that to see, oh, 25% are coming to see women's bodybuilders, or maybe more, hopefully. But let's get some real palpable data so that we can find a better solution instead of just saying, well, nobody's coming to see women bodybuilders. Nobody's coming to see these shows. And that's why promoters aren't putting them into their shows. I want to see some real information, some factual information.
JB, and with that, we are
out.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me, guys.